What's up, everybody? 2024 is ending and we are about to enter a new year. So a couple of things I have in the illumination world, invitations for you to come sit with me. December 22nd is a holiday stress release session. I'll be streaming it live from an in-person event that we're having here in Indianapolis. You're welcome to come to that. It is at $11 to attend. And then coming up also, the New Year virtual goal setting workshop will be January 5th. Both of these are available online at illuminationwellness.co. I would love to sit with you. Skiddly diddly doodly do. It's Tuesday in my world, in this now moment, and I am recording from the car because there's about 13 minutes till I gotta go pick up my little cute baby. So felt like a good time. I have this thought just swirling strongly in my awareness, and I know the friends that gather around for this podcast journey with me, y'all are some deep thinkers and feelers as well. So let's dive in. Let's have this conversation around a spectrum of discernment. I'm going to take a big breath in, and I'm going to let it go. So what's fueling the desire to speak to this is I'm engaging in a conversation inside of a Facebook group, the Austin Conscious community in Austin, Texas. And I'm engaging in this conversation around someone inside of the spiritual community who is currently and has been doing harm inside of the community. Business harm, personal harm. I don't know about sexual harm. But anywho, harm is harm. And I personally, like, the person's not being named, but I know who it is because I've had my own interactions with this being. And it's something that I have kind of tiptoed around speaking to because I needed to begin to understand how I wanted to position this conversation, being someone who is inside of the energetic space, the spiritual space. I mean, as much as I try and say that the work done in illumination, while it is wellness, it is also highly spiritual, and I'm on my own spiritual journey and understanding the human experience, and so it's all tied in, right? So I'm someone inside of this community holding space for people and gatherings and retreats, and I have just witnessed over the last 5 years since I was balls deep inside of the Austin spiritual community to now where I very much am not physically in that community, but I keep tabs on it because it is like the epicenter of so much online transformational work that gets done. And for me, the biggest piece that I changed, that became very clear as I got deep into that world, because what you'll find, and the theme, is that there is some serious harm that is getting done, not in all of the spaces, but in many spaces where someone is gathering people to offer transformation and healing, and where people just get blindsided almost by this behavior that gets shown when either things get challenging inside of the space or when things become personal. Harm is getting done, and it's such a dynamic thing. And I want to just simplify it as much as possible and offer my own personal discernment. I have language around it So the biggest thing when we're starting to learn, because all of us right now, we're learning about how much more there is to this reality than just being physical, right? So anytime you're going on that journey where you're asking what more is out there, whether you're doing it through religion or spirituality or healing, you have to learn discernment. You have to learn what resonance is. You have to learn what resonance feels like in your own body. You have to simultaneously, while you're learning new things, you have to heal your damn self at the same time. You have to be willing to, this is how your discernment sharpens. And your radar gets more pure because you go on a journey of purifying yourself, your own health, your own thoughts, your own emotions, how you treat people in your life, the people closest to you, the beliefs that you hold about yourself and your journey and this reality. All of those things are massively important, and no one fucking told us that. Everyone was just like, go to school, like, get a job, don't worry about the deeper workings of your mind and your heart, and like traumas will happen, and like just suppress that shit. And you know, we just can't anymore. And I know you know that. And so your discernment gets more accurate as you are committing yourself to purifying your own life and healthy relationships in and around you, and you stop doing harm towards yourself and others, especially when you're being challenged, when you're in crunchy situations, when your shit's not going your way. Who are you then? And what you'll find is those that are out of integrity and they're saying, come to me to heal your shit. Yet in certain situations, they are causing harm. Whether it be, again, sexually, whatever. It's just harm is being done. And this is not, I have probably, like, I could name 10 names inside the Austin community and beyond where I know, like, off shit is being done. Like, and I can give examples, and I think that may be helpful. One example that I personally encountered doing retreats, and I would work with retreat support at my retreats who would come to me and say, supporting these other teachers and leaders inside the space is so much different with them because, they treat me like the help, or they talk down to me, or there's all this shit that goes on in the background with the finances, or it's just places where integrity is lost. And, from the jump, that's been such a huge anchor in my work. And not that I've done it perfectly, but I guarantee you I haven't made a ton of enemies along the way. And those that I have, it's very mild, and it's almost like we poof out of each other's experience. And I've just always been willing to admit when I'm at fault or when I could do better. And 44 retreats and many, many, many trainings later, like, mostly harmonious situations. But it's meant that I've had to continue cultivating harmony within my own being and stopping drama loops. And so this is the very active role that we have to take. And so when I'm talking about a spectrum of discernment, how do you also cultivate it when you're looking at people to work with and walk with? And here's kind of like the image that came into my mind that I'll share. And then I'm going to go get my little cute boy. But when you are choosing someone to take advice from or work with or walk with, or like do any type of energetic work with, the spectrum of discernment that can be very helpful is, can that person be actually silly? Do they actually feel safe enough here on earth to be a silly goose? Like, just they're authentic, they're not putting on a show, they're not acting perfect, they're not this serious, stoic, like, overly sacral, active all that, can they just be like childlike, innocent? Do they have connection to that childlike innocence? And if not, it's okay. There's probably just like other ways that they could approach their own healing journey. But always, like, I always look for somebody who like is just a regular ass, like can be real and like their inner child. And on the opposite side of the spectrum of discernment being can they be serious? Can they take and act in integrity and honor, be in right relationship when it comes to crunchy moments, serious moments, deep moments? What kind of space can they hold then? Do they lose their shit? Do they get completely knocked off their center? And that's another really strong indicator of what's actually going on in their internal environment, because people are good at putting on a show, my friend, especially online. And that's the other piece. Are these people actually doing things in the physical? Do they have families? Do they have children? What's that life like? Are they just dumping their child off all the time? Like, who are they in real life? Because everything online is literally smoke and mirrors. And this piece right here, this discernment piece, like if we could all just anchor that in as we move forward, I think a lot of these harmful paths and these harmful beings and the energies that can like take over someone's awareness, because harm is just one way that the hungry darkness feeds itself. It has to cause harm. But we can stop those cycles, and it can be so much easier than what we're being told. So it's time to get my baby. My heart is pounding. I love you guys. Would love to receive any reflections from this little flow. Wow, so much is happening. And I'm here with you, breathing deep, showing up, keeping it fun, making pasta for dinner. I mean, let's just keep it real. You know what I mean? Love you guys so much. I got so much coming. But for now, this is it. And again, we need to talk to you soon.